Hey, it's Carl Daikeler. I'm CEO of Beachbody, and of course, today we are celebrating the achievement of 15-star diamond. That's superstar diamond, and one of the most recent to achieve that status, none other than David Ingram. David, congratulations and great work. Now, this is a really big deal. That means that you've got 15 diamonds in your organization at the same time. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it all didn't just happen at once. How long have you been a coach?
About a little over 2.5 years.
Okay, still that's pretty fast, actually. We've got coaches who have been around longer than that and haven't gotten to this distinction. How did you get into the coaching business when it first got going?
You know, honestly, I was just looking to get in shape. I wasn't getting into the coaching business. I was trying to lose weight. And I went back to the gym and got back into the same routine that I did always at the gym, which is not really having any plan, not having direction. And it didn't really fit with my schedule. So I was really inspired by another person. I'd seen their transformation online with P90X. And I connected with him, and he became my coach. And I still didn't know there was a business opportunity. I just knew that I was able to get into the best shape of my life, and that completely changed my outlook on what was possible. So when he invited me to become a coach, and I realized that I could do this, work out, and inspire others to work out and help them get in shape, I jumped at it. Like immediately, I wanted to get involved.
Really?
Yeah.
You jumped at it?
Absolutely.
Interesting. So what did you think it meant to be a coach when you first got going?
I thought it meant for me to be proof that products work. I mean, that's what we say now, but back then it literally was, I'll get in shape, I'll show you, prove to you that you can, that it's possible, and then I will help you the same way, which means I'll share with you what worked for me.
Yeah. And did you have a goal at the beginning? Like, what did you think you would get out of it when you first got started?
Well, I had a dream, and then I had a goal. And my dream was, my coach was straight with me. He said, if you really dedicate yourself to this for a couple years, really put in the work, this could become a full-time income for you, full-time business. Yeah. And so my dream at the time was, I would love to be able to get out of the corporate grind, be home with my family, but I knew that my number one goal was just simply to get my Shakeology paid for. Okay. And that, and hit Emerald. It was like it was a small goal, but that was my goal in the beginning.
So that's pretty interesting. So at the beginning, you already had a vision that this could be a full-time thing for you. It wasn't just some sideline, I might as well do it anyway.
No, I had that dream, and that's what drove me, but I had to set small, achievable goals.
Now, have you ever done network marketing before?
No. And honestly, I didn't even know this was network marketing when I got into it. It wasn't until about 6 months into it. And at that point, I didn't care anymore because Team Beachbody is so different than any other opportunity out there. Yeah. It makes network marketing cool and legit, and I love it. So.
Well, certainly we want to make the point about helping people, so it makes it, for people who are considering getting into the business, they got to know that it's going to take hard work, but they also need to know it's really about helping people first, and that's where the financial opportunity comes from that. Now, do you have a background in sales? Like, why has it been so successful for you?
I don't have a background in sales. I've never done sales before. I have a background in IT. Computer.
Well, I can see how those two.
Yeah, and really, what it comes down to is when you find something that you believe in, and you find something that you're passionate about, and you just want to share that with other people. That's the essence of success at Team Beachbody.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now, how did your family react to this idea at first? Because you were already really busy.
Oh yeah. Well, the first reaction was when I went to a family reunion for Thanksgiving, and literally my sisters and parents, they were like, "What are you doing? You look 10 years younger." I was down like 20 pounds, and I was just really working out. So that was the first. They noticed a change in me, right? They noticed I was more positive. They noticed that I was living differently. I literally was doing P90X in their living room over Thanksgiving, and so it was like, wow, you can make this a lifestyle and make it work. And when I became a coach, I was already inspiring so many people around me from my transformation with P90X. It was just a natural extension. It was like, hey, can you help me get in shape? Absolutely. Here's what I did.
So this is people who knew you basically and saw the transformation, you're saying?
Coworkers, yeah, absolutely. Coworkers. I put together a little video, and it went viral at my office.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So I think one of the best things, if I had to share the two best things I've ever did in my coaching career, was one, being proof that the products work, and then two, sharing my story with others. Because stories change lives. Stories prove to people that this is real.
So does that mean that it needs to happen in sequence? Do you have to get the transformation before you become a coach to be successful? Or what?
No, I have plenty of people on my team, Diamond coaches, who don't necessarily have a transformation, or they're still a transformation in progress. But you have to be real. You have to be committed to using the products and living a healthy lifestyle. And there's so many ways that benefits you as a coach.
Well, that's what I've found too, is I do, it's different for everybody, but I see some people will hesitate and say, I don't want to become a coach until I've got my transformation. And personally, I think that the process of doing a P90X or Insanity or 21-day fix or whatever, you're walking around sore all the time, and people are going to ask you, what are you doing? And that's an opportunity to start a conversation that can lead to getting somebody else to join the program with you. So that's a coaching opportunity. And so often people think that coach means expert. And really what coach means is advocate for a healthy lifestyle, an example of being proof the product works, and then somebody willing to stand up and say, I'm going to help hold you accountable. I don't think that needs to be a person that's been transformed to achieve that. That just needs to be a person who's serious this time about getting in shape and getting results, the kind of results that you had. Now, the video that you talk about, though, again, that's also something that's pretty unique. With having, being 15-star diamond, do you find that it's a requirement? Like, how important is that video for the people on your team, or are you an outlier in that respect?
Well, I think that it's important to share your story. And for me, I was so busy at the time, I literally didn't have the time. When a coworker stopped me in the hall, I didn't have the time to say, look, this is what I've been through. This is where I came from. And what I found is people relate more to my struggle. They relate more to the way I was before, struggling with drinking Mountain Dew and eating McDonald's because that's all I had time for. They relate more to those struggles than they do to me as a fit person now. So it's so important that I go back and show them, this is where I came from, here's my photos, this is what I struggle with. And so to your point, do you have to already be transformed to be successful? No. While you're struggling and you're in your journey, people are going to be so drawn to that. That's what they can relate to, is that real person. So to your question about video, is it a requirement? No, it's just a really useful tool.
I see.
It does the talking for you. I would highly encourage it, but if you're good at telling your story, then you can accomplish the same goal.
Right. Well, let's talk about the how, okay? How do you go about this, or how do you advocate that people go about getting started in this business and then trying to create something as meaningful as you've created?
Okay. Well, I actually started P90X a year and a half before I actually succeeded. I literally, a friend of mine...
It's a long 90 days, dude.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine recommended it to me. I purchased everything, the pull-up bar, I got the weights, set it all up in my living room, turned it on, 20 minutes into chest and back, doing the decline push-ups, my feet up on the couch, and I got nauseous and I got sick, and I got up and I said, this is impossible. This is not, it's not real. And I turned it off. And it went in the closet for a year and a half until I was inspired by somebody's transformation online, his video, and I was able to connect with him, and he was a real person, and he helped me with what he ate. He helped me with daily support. I checked in every day to his support group. It was a message board. It was on teambeachbody.com. And literally knowing that he was doing it and there's all these people on there doing it, that's what got me through it my second time around.
That's awesome.
So I just, if you're asking me how to get started right, it's to plug into a support community. I mean, that's what makes Beachbody different.
And it's the same for the business, right? I mean, there's going to be people out there who could be natural at the fitness, and but that they're going to have the same experience with going about the business that they start, they go out, they talk to 5 people, they get rejected, and they go, this is impossible, and they pack it up and they send it back or they put it in the closet until they see somebody like you, 15-star diamond, they go, wait, it's possible, let me plug into that guy's challenge group,
Yep,
right?
right?
I mean, you got to see that a lot, that people
Absolutely.
get started and they're like, what are you talking, how am I gonna succeed at this?
Right.
So how important is the why part of this? And I think it's an important part of your story. So anybody who wonders just how to keep going when the going gets tough, talk a little bit about your motivations.
Well, and I'd like to go back to your previous question too. So getting started as a coach, what I offer to my new coaches is I am there and present every day with them. We have a support group that they get plugged into, a whole community. We have a weekly team call where we do training and share success stories. But we have online training available 24 hours a day. So we have the how-to, right? That's the how to be successful. What you're touching on is so important. It's the why. Why should I be successful? Why should I keep getting back up when I keep getting rejected, or when the times are tough, or when I didn't make Success Club multiple months in a row, or whatever? I've had moments like that where I've been discouraged, where I felt like I was never going to be successful.
Well, I don't want to ruin your train of thought, but I want to say, so do I. And that's people watching this will be like, wait a minute, the CEO and one of their most successful coaches are saying that it's not easy. What kind of sales pitch is this? This doesn't make any sense. But that's what this is the truth, that if you want to be successful at something, you are going to get knocked down. You're going to have times of extreme frustration, of wanting to quit, but that's where greatness comes from. Okay, so now let's get to the why of it.
So there were so many times when I felt like I saw other people giving up, whether they were giving up, my customers giving up on their health and fitness goals, or my coaches giving up. And I had to come to a point where deep within I realized I'm not going to give up on my goals and dreams just because others are giving up on theirs. Okay? And I truly believe that it's in those times of desperation and frustration when you decide to keep going is what separates people from those who go on to be successful and those who don't.
Right.
It is simply when you're discouraged how you react.
And
to
that's
that.
absolutely a choice right there.
Absolutely.
People don't realize it's the people who take responsibility for that choice. Just like the choice, am I going to become a coach or not? Am I going to get fit or not? Am I going to quit the program or not? It's always a choice. And doesn't mean that you choose one or the other and one gets easy, and just because you made the choice it's easy, but it is a choice. So what was it that really drove you?
For me, my first why was my family. I had this vision of being home with my family and providing a more abundant life for them. And that drove me. And that, I stopped watching TV and I stopped following politics and the news. I gave up things so that I could keep my mind focused on my goal.
That's interesting because those are kind of diametrically opposed. I want to provide more for my family, but I want to be home more for my family. That is not the easiest equation to solve because one would usually come at the expense of the other.
Right.
So how did you overcome that?
Well, with this opportunity, you can work wherever you want. Right? And this is a home-based business. It's an amazing opportunity to take advantage of the technology that's available. So I built my business in a way where I utilized technology to connect people together, to provide them the information they needed, the tools, and to just share my story. And that's how I built it. And that's how I continue to build it today in training my coaches and training my leaders.
So describe your life now.
Every morning, I'm greeted by my 1-year-old baby girl smiling. Literally, one of my other kids will get her up out of her crib, bring her to me, and I wake up, and she's like the rooster in our family. She wakes up at the crack of dawn, and I wake up to her smiling, and then I get to decide what my day is going to be like. I take my kids to school. We walk to school. We do our workout. My wife and I work out together at home, and we get to brainstorm and come up with ideas and ways that we can inspire people, that we can give value to them in their lives, and that's my daily routine. But I can tell you that I have now been reconnected with my family, my parents, my brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, so many people that I care about. I've been able to go travel and see them and spend that time. When I look back to where I came from and where my life is now, it couldn't be any more different.
Yeah.
In just 2.5 years.
So what lies ahead for you? What's next?
I want to give what I have to more people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I want to allow my coaches and anybody out there who wants to participate in this, I want to give what I have to them. That's what drives me, is allowing others to enjoy that freedom.
And I mean, this is probably a layup question, but you think that there's still opportunity in it? I mean, sometimes people think if I didn't get in on the ground floor, it's past me. I wish I'd have gotten in when David got in. What do you feel about that?
Is our country getting any thinner, any healthier? Right?
No.
No. So there's tremendous opportunity. I heard the other day that in 10 years, this is on CNN, 10 years, they expect half of all Americans to be diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Wow.
Half. So there's tremendous opportunity.
Yeah.
When I got in little less than 3 years ago, the network was already around for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And I rose to this position and accomplished this in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So I've proven that there is no limits on me. My upline or my coach, there are no limits on what is possible here. It all depends on how hard you work for it and how productive you are.
Well, limits are self-imposed, I believe. And so the fact that you are where you are shows that you haven't accepted anybody's limits. And anybody watching this, I think David is a great example of what you can do when you decide that you're not going to accept limits on yourself, or you find that you can visualize something bigger for yourself. But it will take work, it will take a decision, and it will take action and some courage. But I think anybody would be smart to follow your lead and get involved in your organization, and we couldn't be more proud to have you part of Team Beachbody and a part of ending this trend of obesity. So congratulations, and thanks for doing everything you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Good work.